Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Shehbaz Sharif takes oath as 24th Prime Minister of India, faces steep economic and security crisis. France poised to become the first country in the world to make abortion a constitutional right. French lawmakers meet today for the final vote. Global rating agency Moody's raises India's GDP growth projection for 2024 from 6.1 to 6.8%, attributes strong growth to robust capital spending and manufacturing activity. In Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif took oath as Prime Minister of Pakistan today, taking over the reins of the country for second time since 2022. President Arif Alvi administered the oath to Shehbaz Sharif in a ceremony held at the President's residence in the afternoon. His swearing in as Prime Minister came a day after Parliament elected him Prime Minister despite protests from lawmakers aligned with jailed former PM Imran Khan. The 72-year-old politician had earlier served as Prime Minister of a coalition government from April 2022 to August of 2023 before Parliament was dissolved to hold general elections last month. Global rating agency Moody's on Monday raised India's GDP growth projection for 2024 from 6.1 to 6.8%. Moody's has attributed this strong growth to the government's capital spending and vigorous manufacturing activity in 2023. India's economy grew 8.4% during the October to December quarter, which surpassed the initial expectations at 6.6%. India's GDP growth is estimated at 7.6% for the year ending March 31st, 2024. A slight dip to 6.4% is expected in 2025. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Monday launched Acing Development of Innovative Technologies with IDEX or Aditi scheme to promote innovations in critical and strategic defence technologies at DEF Connect 2024 in the national capital. Under the scheme, startups are eligible to receive grant in aid of up to 25 crore rupees for their research, development and innovation endeavours in defence technology. The event also witnessed the launch of the 11th edition of Defence India Startup Challenge, heralding a new chapter in the collaboration between the defence establishment and the startup ecosystem. Speaking on the occasion, Defence Minister said the country's self-reliance is necessary to take independent decisions in national interest.
दूसरे देशों से हासिल हुई टेक्नोलॉजी में हमें कभी भी लेटेस्ट एवं पोटेंट टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं मिलती है। दूसरे देशों से हासिल की हुई टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी लर्निंग से संबंधित नहीं होती है। वो हमारी लर्निंग से तभी जुड़ेगी जब हम उसे अपने देश में डेवलप करेंगे। यदि कोई व्यक्ति किताब पढ़ता है तो किताब पढ़कर उसे ज्ञान अवश्य हासिल होता है, लेकिन जिस व्यक्ति ने उस किताब को लिखा है उसका ज्ञान स्वाभाविक रूप से एक अलग श्रेणी का होता है, एक अलग कैटेगरी का होता है। इसलिए हमने सोचा कि हम क्यों ना ऐसा प्रयास करें कि रिक्विजिट टेक्नोलॉजीज को हम अपने ही देश में डेवलप करें।
Taking the spirit of self-reliant India and Make in India initiative forward, Department of Military Affairs under Ministry of Defence is conducting an intensive brainstorming over the next couple of days starting Monday. The intensive session is taking place between the service headquarters and important stakeholders from Department of Defence Production, defence industry representatives and other relevant partners. The implementable way forward derived from consultative and participative processes through high-level deliberations to provide impetus to indigenization and also devise ways and means to enhance participation of private industry in defence R&D and manufacturing ecosystem will be key takeaways. The event will also provide aids to create and enhance maintenance, repair and overall facilities for the armed forces. India and France on Monday held bilateral dialogue on disarmament and non-proliferation in New Delhi. The two sides discussed developments in the field of disarmament and non-proliferation relating to nuclear, chemical, biological domains, as well as outer space security, conventional weapons, including AI in the military domain, and lethal autonomous weapon systems, and multilateral export control regimes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday inaugurated and dedicated to the nation, also laid foundation stones of multiple development projects related to power, rail and road sectors worth more than $6.74 billion in South Indian city of Adilabad in Telangana. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister reiterated the mantra of nation's development through development of the states. He said, with a better economy, trust in the country grows and states also benefit from that as they get investments.
केंद्र की हमारी सरकार राज्यों के विकास से देश के विकास के मंत्र पर चलती है। इसी तरह जब देश की अर्थव्यवस्था मजबूत होती है तो देश के प्रति विश्वास बढ़ता है, तो राज्यों को भी इसका लाभ मिलता है, राज्यों में भी निवेश बढ़ता है। आप लोगों ने देखा है कि पिछले 3-4 दिनों से पूरी दुनिया में भारत की तेज विकास दर, इसकी चर्चा हो रही है। दुनिया में भारत ऐसी इकलौती ओनली बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनकर उभरा है जिसने पिछले क्वार्टर में 8.4% की दर से विकास किया है।
After inaugurating various projects in Adilabad, Prime Minister Modi addressed a public rally where he spoke on Government of India's welfare schemes for the tribal people.
आदिवासियों के विकास के लिए देश में अलग मंत्रालय बनाने का काम बीजेपी सरकार ने ही किया था। आजादी की लड़ाई में जनजातीय समाज के योगदान को समर्पित म्यूजियम बनाए जा रहे हैं। ये काम भी केंद्र की बीजेपी सरकार ने शुरू किया है। हैदराबाद में जो म्यूजियम बन रहा है, हमने उसका नाम रामजी गौंड के नाम पर रखा है। बीजेपी आदिवासी कल्याण को, आदिवासी गौरव को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देते हुए काम कर रही है। आदिवासी समाज में भी जो लोग अति पिछड़े हैं, जो अब तक विकास से वंचित हैं, उनके लिए बीजेपी सरकार ने पीएम जनमन योजना शुरू की।
Moving on, a 7-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court of India has ruled that an MP or MLA cannot claim immunity from prosecution on a charge of bribery in connection with vote or speech in the Parliament or Legislative Assembly. In a unanimous view, the Supreme Court's constitution bench overruled the 1998 judgment in the P.V. Narasimha Rao case. The court expressed disagreement with its own judgment in P.V. Narasimha case, which grants immunity to legislator for alleged bribery for making a speech or vote in a particular manner in the House that has wide ramification. The top court held that corruption and bribery by legislators destroyed the functioning of parliamentary democracy. The bench, headed by Chief Justice of India, said bribery is not rendered immune, citing Articles 105 or 194. The court said interpretation of P.V. Narasimha judgment is contrary to Articles 105 and 194 of the Constitution. Chief Justice Chandrachud further observed that the offence of bribe is crystallized on the taking of illegal gratification, does not depend on whether the vote or speech is given later. A bench of 7 judges headed by Chief Justice of India in October reserved order after hearing the submissions. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the Supreme Court judgment. In a social media post on X, Prime Minister says, and I quote, "The great judgment by the Honourable Supreme Court, which will ensure clean politics and deepen people's faith in the system." Union Food and Public Distribution Minister Piyush Goyal on Monday said procurement of agriculture produce at MSP has risen 2.5 times over the past decade. The government is committed to the betterment of the farmers.
एमएसपी में तो बड़े पैमाने पे सरकार सामान खरीद रही है, अनाज खरीद रही है। मुझे लगता है आज से 10 साल पहले कहाँ 2.5-2.5 लाख रुपए का एमएसपी ऑपरेशन होता था, खाद्यान्न खरीदा जाता था किसानों से, और आज जो 10 वर्ष बीते हैं इसमें उसको लगभग 2.5 गुना कर दिया गया। 2.5 times is the procurement of various produce जो सरकार खरीदती है।
Piyush Goyal also assured reducing the security deposit for farmers from current 3% to 1% for using warehouses under Warehousing Development and Regulatory Authority. Goyal also requested WDRA to consider zero security deposit, particularly for small farmers with low land holdings. Earlier, WDRA waived the application fee for registration of warehouses storing agricultural commodities for farmers till 25th October 2025. The minister was speaking at the launch of E-Kisan Upaj Nidhi digital gateway.
सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट तो 1% कर दिया, हम सब किसानों के लिए, हम सब के लिए बहुत लाभ होगा, हम सबको प्रोत्साहन होगा कि हम तुरंत माल बेचने के बदले रख सके। लेकिन मैंने मनोज जी से अनुरोध किया, आप ये भी विचार करिए, कोशिश करिए, जो छोटे किसानों की उपज है जब वो ये WDRA रजिस्टर्ड वेयरहाउस में रखें, तो मैंने मनोज जी को अनुरोध किया है कि उनसे हम सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट ना लें, उनको मुक्त कर दें सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट।
Let's now take a look at other stories making news today. India's Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia launched Ayush ICMR Advanced Centre on Monday for integrated health research at AIIMS Delhi. The Advanced Centre's goal is to provide holistic healthcare to patients by using both traditional Indian wisdom and modern medicine together. India's Apex Court on Monday asked Aam Aadmi Party to vacate its office at Rouse Avenue in Delhi till 15th June. The court said the land has been chosen for the expansion of the Rouse Court complex. The court told Aam Aadmi Party to apply for a new land in a development office of the central government. India's Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on Monday announced the results of Cities 2.0 challenges in New Delhi. For this challenge, 18 cities have been selected, which have done remarkable work towards integrated waste management while promoting circular economy across the country. To counter RJD chief Lalu Yadav's comment at Prime Minister Modi, several BJP leaders, including BJP President JP Nadda, Home Minister Amit Shah and Information Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur, added Modi ka parivar, meaning Modi's family, in their names on social media platform. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. French lawmakers meet today for the final vote on abortion rights. 277 trucks carrying humanitarian aid enter Gaza. UK to block hate preachers from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Indonesia.
Wherever news breaks, whatever it takes.
Connecting corners, cutting across continents.
Stories that matter from across the globe.
Accurate, authentic journalism that serves you right. From politics to glamour, from sports to world affairs, with a fusion of aesthetics and substance. Introducing news in a new avatar. Experience the world through a new lens. Stay tuned to DD India for an exciting journey beyond borders.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. French lawmakers will meet today to hold a final vote on inscribing abortion rights into the constitution. French President Emmanuel Macron convened a special Congress of National Assembly representatives and senators in Versailles after both houses of the parliament approved to enshrine the guaranteed freedom to abortion into its constitution. If the proposition garners a 3/5 majority in the special Congress, France will become the world's first nation to constitutionalize abortion. The move follows a US Supreme Court decision that reversed the ruling that recognized women's constitutional right to abortion and opens the door to states to ban the procedure. And DD India's Ross Cullen gets us more from Paris.
We're going to see all 577 MPs, 348 senators getting together at the Palace of Versailles, the former royal palace, the gilded splendour, all of the parliamentarians gathering there. It's a rare occurrence, Ollie. It only happens when you have these major attempts to change the constitution, everybody going by tradition to Versailles without the president, but the prime minister will be there, and for the first time ever the Congress will be held and hosted by the Speaker of the lower house. For the first time ever, a woman holding that position of chairing this Congress. Everybody then will vote, and for the final time. Already all the MPs have voted in the lower house and they approved it by an overwhelming majority. Already all the senators have voted in the upper house and they also approved these changes. And for the final decision to be made, you have to vote once more together. You need 3/5 of everybody, so 60% or so of all the total, more than 900 parliamentarians to vote in favour. And then, if they are able to do that, then it would be up to the President and the Justice Minister to enshrine it into the Constitution. It has widespread support, especially after the President got behind it and wanted to see this enshrined into law by this coming Friday, March the 8th, International Women's Day. However, there were some holdouts and they weren't complete majorities in both houses. There were people voting against these changes. In the Senate, some people did feel, particularly the President of the upper house, felt that the women's right to access abortion services is not under threat. So why would we need to make any changes? The position is strong, it's written into law, it's legal, there's no need to enshrine it into law. But French MPs were saying, well, look what happened in the United States, where access to an abortion was constitutionally protected until it was no longer constitutionally protected. So we need to make these changes. That's why it has widespread support among MPs, senators, and also, as you mentioned, the public.
In Nepal, the ruling coalition between the Communist Party of Nepal, Maoist Centre, and Nepali Congress has collapsed, paving way for a new government alliance under Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal or Prachanda. A change in the composition of Nepal's government is taking place, with Prime Minister reshuffling his cabinet. Prime Minister Prachanda will induct new ministers from the Communist Party of Nepal, Unified Marxist-Leninist, Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal. On Monday, the newly elected 19 members of National Assembly took oath of office in secrecy. The Assembly Vice Chairperson Urmila Aryal administered the oath to them amid a ceremony at the Federal Parliament Secretariat that had organized at the Parliament building at local New Baneshwar. On the occasion, Vice Chair Aryal presented the National Assembly insignia to the new members, while Secretariat employees handed them study materials. Election was held for the 19 National Assembly member posts on January 25th. Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha was also present on the occasion. Some more news from Asia Pacific. The Australian government is hosting 3-day special ASEAN summit from Monday in Melbourne. The summit marks the 50th anniversary of Australia becoming the association's first dialogue partner. 9 Southeast Asian leaders were due to take part in what is billed by the local media as one of the biggest diplomatic gatherings in Australia. The leaders hope to forge strong security and economic ties. Meanwhile, security is tightened in Melbourne's Convention and Exhibition Centre. The three-day summit will provide an opportunity to further strengthen partnerships through events centered around key focus areas: business, emerging leaders, climate and clean energy, and maritime cooperation. Even as the Israeli military steps up strikes on Hamas in Gaza, humanitarian aid continues to flow into the enclave. On Monday, the IDF said 277 trucks carrying humanitarian aid entered Gaza. This is the highest number of trucks to be transferred in a day since the start of the conflict. Meanwhile, Hamas delegation arrived in Cairo on Sunday for the latest round of ceasefire talks on Gaza. Mediators, United States, Qatar, and Egypt are struggling to work out a truce plan before March 10th. However, Israel boycotted the ceasefire talks in Cairo. US Vice President Kamala Harris demanded Hamas for immediate 6-week ceasefire. Vice President of United States is due to meet with a member of Israel's war cabinet in Washington later today to discuss how to get humanitarian aid into Gaza. Kamala Harris and Benny Gantz are also expected to talk about the need for a temporary ceasefire. According to Gantz's office, he will also meet US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Meanwhile, an Israeli newspaper reported that Israel has boycotted Gaza ceasefire talks in Cairo on Sunday after Hamas rejected its demand for a complete list of hostages who are still alive. DD India correspondent Jagrati Dave gets us more.
Officials from both sides have confirmed that the meeting is taking place. In a statement, Benny Gantz said that US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, as well as a bipartisan group of congressmen and women, would also be attending. A White House official said that Vice President Harris would be expressing her concern for the safety of around 1.5 million Palestinian people seeking refuge in Gaza.
And given the immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire for at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table. This will get the hostages out and get a significant amount of aid in. This would allow us to build something more enduring, to ensure Israel is secure, and to respect the right of the Palestinian people to dignity, freedom, and self-determination.
The White House is coming under increasing pressure to help broker a ceasefire, as well as secure the release of the remaining Israeli hostages captured by Hamas. All of this comes to the backdrop of fragile ongoing truce talks, as well as an airdrop of humanitarian aid over the weekend in Gaza by the Biden administration, while the United Nations is warning that the Palestinian people in Gaza are on the verge of a famine. Jagrati Dave in Washington reporting for DD India.
The UK government is planning to block the entry of what it calls hate preachers from countries such as Pakistan, Afghanistan and Indonesia. The government is planning to draft a new law to stop the entry of such people. The revelation comes days after British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak delivered a speech at 10 Downing Street in London, where he warned that the country's democratic and multi-faith values were under threat by extremists. An Indian delegation presented a copy of Srimad Bhagavad Gita to the Parliament of Sri Lanka as part of the International Gita Mahotsav on Monday. On the occasion, Sri Lankan Parliament Speaker Abhay Vardhana expressed gratitude and said Gita was not just for Bharat but for the entire humanity.
Bhagavad Gita is for humanity. It's for humanity among all of us. So that belongs to everybody. So this is the gift that has been given to the human beings in the world by Bharat. So Lord Buddha said compassion. Lord Buddha was inspired with this Bhagavad Gita to a certain extent. If you can get all the human beings to understand what Bhagavad Gita, you would not have had a lot of the problem that we are having today.
Some updates from the world of sports. New Zealand and Chennai Super Kings opener Devon Conway has been ruled out of the first half of the upcoming IPL 2024 season after suffering a thumb injury. The left-handed Conway, player of the match in the IPL 2023 final against Gujarat Titans in Ahmedabad last year, suffered a thumb injury during the recently concluded T20 International Series against Australia at home. 32-year-old was consequently ruled out of the ongoing two-match Test series. Conway is set to undergo a surgery this week. Phil Foden's heroics kept Manchester City's Premier League title challenge on track with a superb 3-1 home victory over Manchester United on Sunday. Foden arrowed a sublime effort into the top corner in the 56th minute, and England forward then produced a clinical finish with 10 minutes of normal time remaining. Erling Haaland, who missed a golden first half chance, secured the points with late strike. Reigning champion City, with an unbeaten run in all competitions of 19, moved to 62 points, one behind leaders Liverpool, which it visits next weekend. United remains in 6th place with 44 points. Ace tennis star, Olympian and Asian Games medalist Vishnu Vardhan, who is all set to participate in the 42nd edition of Petroleum Sports Promotion Board, spoke about the importance of national-level tournaments in an exclusive conversation with DD India. PSPB tournament will take place from 5th till 8th of March at New Delhi's DLTS Stadium. The event will witness the participation of Arjuna awardees and Olympians.
Ahead of the 42nd PSPB tournament, which is all set to take place in New Delhi, we have with us Olympian and Asian Games champion Vishnu Vardhan. A very warm welcome and thank you so much for exclusively talking to DD India. When we talk about events like PSBB, which are very much important for the nation, how important participation of bigger players like you becomes?
No, I mean, first of all, I would like to thank my parent organization, which is ONGC. They've been a pillar of support for the last 12 years. And one of the main reasons that I could achieve this kind of achievements that you've just spoken about in my career, and that is all done through the Petroleum Sports Promotion Board. So it's not just a tennis event; it's a celebration of tennis across different organizations, and showing that they are the pinnacle of support for all the sportsmen. So all the top players are over here, and it's going to be a highly competitive event. At the same time, we want to give our best for our own organization. This is the 1 week that we play for them. So very excited, and hope we end up winning for our company.
It is very important to play for the organization and strengthen your roots also. But at the same time, how much of a help you are getting from such sort of events for your international tournaments?
Absolutely. The organization has been supporting not only that we are a part of the payroll, but also they take care of our equipments, for our training, medical facilities. There are a lot of other things, and then events like these will make us better prepared for the forthcoming tournaments. I have an ITF event in Delhi and Chandigarh right after this, so it will be a great preparatory week for me, since I'll be playing in the same conditions. So I hope to be a lot more sharper for these international events.
All right. Thank you so much for talking exclusively to DD India, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So there you heard Olympian Vishnu Vardhan, who talked about his participation and how much it is important for all the athletes to represent your nation as well. This is Deepika Iyer reporting for DD India, New Delhi.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.